Hey everyone, today I'll be reviewing my new MOC Guardian. This MOC is part of my new Miniature MOC series. Each MOC in this series has to have this smallest torso piece, and that piece originally came from Ep.3 in the 4th wave of Hero Factory. If you're interested in this series, all of the links to the previous videos from this series will be in the description. And now, with all that out of the way, we can get into the detailed review. I went with a simple leg design just because I didn't really want to build a fully technical leg design. For one, because I'll be building this MOC for the camera, and I don't want the build video to be too long. And also, these MOCs are meant to be built by all of the viewers, and some people might not have as many parts or not all of the right parts in the right colors, and so I want these to be able to be made pretty easily without having to buy that many parts or without having to buy any parts at all. So I went with a very simple leg design, as you can see. I really like these orange shin guard pieces. I got those from Rotor. They're very useful. Unfortunately, we only have them in orange, red, and yellow. I wish we had them in black and silver because that's a great armor piece. I used Explode's feet in black, or I usually call them Nitro Blast feet because that's the first set that I got those feet from. I know that piece goes all the way back to Bionicle, but I typically call those Explode or Nitro Blast feet. The arms are my favorite part of this build. I feel like they're all pretty unique, and I think it adds a lot of variety to this build since they're each different. The most striking of these arms being the gun arm, at least in my opinion. I feel like it's the most notable, especially because of the bandolier of Baraki eyes and red diamonds. I feel like I did a pretty good job of making this look like a heavy turret that's going to do a lot of damage to its enemies. I really like the big barrel in the middle. I imagine that probably shoots some type of heavy laser. Then this barrel just shoots a missile, and he would have to reload that after each shot. And that's probably a very, very heavy explosive that's probably going to do a lot of damage. This barrel would definitely be the weakest. It also shoots a laser, but it has individually cased rounds, and it's not built in like this laser. There's a big battery that would generate that laser, and it would take a lot longer for it to shoot. But this one shoots pretty rapidly, but it's less powerful, as I said earlier. I really like how it attaches. I don't think it could use any improvement, maybe a little bit with this extra assembly that I used to strengthen the core design and make sure it wasn't too fragile, but I think it looks fine. I know it sticks out a little bit there and on the back, but that's more of just an add-on detail just to add some length to the back. This side is more of the defensive side, and this side is more of the offensive side with the knife and the gun, and he also has a little built-in gun on his arm, and he has another right here. These are both probably pretty weak lasers, but still they could do a little bit of damage to an enemy. I used this red transparent shield that came from Breeze 4.0. It's a very useful piece. We only got those in red and green, unfortunately. I would have loved to see a blue and purple and maybe a orange. That would be a really cool piece to have in a lot of different colors. That's all I have to say about the arms. You should get a pretty good look at those in the build video, and it should be pretty straightforward how to build his body as well. So I'm not really going to go in depth about how I built him. I really don't remember exactly what my thought process was, besides that I wanted him to have 4 arms. You can see a pretty good look at that frame. It's very simple, as you can see, and that's really all I'm going to be able to get. That's really the best angles that I've just shown. As you can see, it's a simple MOC. I think he's pretty effective. I think you get his whole idea. He's definitely a pretty cool MOC for what he is, but he's simple, as you can see. Another standard for these miniature MOCs is that each one of them has to have one of these dome armor plates for their helmet piece. This is a pretty good head, but in terms of this series, it's pretty lame. I know you haven't seen some of the later MOCs in this series, but there's some pretty great heads in my opinion. This is definitely one of the lower tier heads. Well, that's really all I have to say about this MOC. As always, thanks for watching. Please check out some of my other videos. And once again, the links to the other MOCs in this Miniature MOC series will be in the description of this video.